Let's move on and talk about the three basic questions that economics tries to answer. Goods and services are objects that people value and produce to satisfy wants. What is produced varies across countries and changes over time. It really depends on what people want or need. How to produce is determined by the technologies and resources available. The basic resources, or factors of production as we will now refer to them as, are land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. Land refers to all natural resources. Labor entails the work, time, and effort that people devote to producing goods and services. The quality of this labor depends on human capital, the knowledge and skills people obtain from education, training, and experience. Capital includes the tools, machines, and buildings that are used to produce goods. Entrepreneurship is the human resource that organizes the previous three resources in a manner that produces goods and services. The last question that we need to answer is that of who to produce for. Who can consume goods is, in most societies, determined by their income. People earn their incomes by selling the services of the factors of production that they own. Land earns rent, labor earns wages, capital earns interest, and entrepreneurship earns profits. Choices made in self-interest of a person thinks that the particular choice is the best one available to them. Choices made in the social interest result from an outcome that is best for society as a whole. Resource use is considered efficient if it is not possible to make someone better off without making someone else worse off. We keep changing the way we use our resources until we reach this point of efficiency. A lot of times people use the word fairness when talking about the social interest. It is a little difficult to define this though. For example, most people say that too much inequality is unfair. But how much is unfair? Where do you draw the line and say that inequality below this point is fair, but above this point isn't? Globalization is defined as the expansion of international trade, borrowing and lending, and investment. It is, on the whole, regarded as a good thing, but still has some negative side effects too. Globalization is in the self-interest of consumers who want low-cost goods produced in their countries and of multinational corporations who produce in low-cost countries and sell goods elsewhere. Conversely, globalization isn't necessarily in the interest of low-wage workers in developing countries who produce these goods. Another downside, one which is becoming less prominent nowadays, is the existence of information age monopolies. Microsoft is a great example. Microsoft was able to sell computers at a much higher than market value at some point because it was the only producer. Microsoft's profits increased, but many people weren't able to buy a computer as a result. Climate change is also a result of people making decisions based on self-interest. More often than not, the environment is harmed when decisions are made in the pursuit of self-interest. Economic instability can also result from banks who lend too much internationally in the pursuit of self-interest. Lending more allows banks to earn more interest, but when banks extend loans to high-risk borrowers, they increase the rate to compensate for potential defaults. The only problem is that the probability of a default is now much greater, increasing the chances that the borrower will not pay their loan. This could result in economic instability.